We are going to start today's analysis on the 8-hourly time frame and then slowly make our way down for me to tell you where I'm looking for my next trade. The first thing that we're going to do is trace a volume profile on this whole bottom price action, which was the previous bigger range and the little range in which we are currently in now. We can see something that's not the most bullish, which is actually the opposite of what Ethereum's doing, which we will look at in just a second. We can see that this yellow line is the point of control, which we are currently losing. We've lost the point of control, therefore, only and just purely looking at volume profiles, we should be looking for the value area low. Now, let's zoom in, let's say to the 2-hourly time frame. What else comes in at the value area low? Why would it make sense for the price to go there? We've got, let's see, over the course of 25 days, nearly a month, we've been going long, and everyone has been going long. What happens with that? There's a bunch of liquidity that has been created here. As we all know, Bitcoin really likes to go and grab some liquidity. Therefore, I think that's another reason why it would make sense for the price to now to get a crash, grab all of this liquidity, hit our value area low, and then potentially get a reaction. If I also trace a Fibonacci retracement from this whole push up that we had, just from the bottom all the way to the top, we can see a very similar story. The 0.618, which is the most relevant point in this whole retracement, is going to come exactly at the value area low. Coincidentally, of course, what else do we have here? That was the accumulation range, which we actually took a trade from around this area and then has led to this whole push up. So this is going to be a really important key level with which we need to be very careful of, because if this gets lost, not only are we losing the value area low, which would be catastrophic, we would also be going back inside this range, which is no bueno. That would be really bad. That would mean that these people, these market makers that were loading up a bunch of long positions, would now not be defending them anymore. They would not be in their long positions. Therefore, the price could very easily get a massive push down. By massive, you know, I'll make a separate video telling you exactly where I think the price is going to go, but one step at a time. I think it's easier if we just look at the current price action of Bitcoin right now. We can also overlap another volume profile just to see for the more local areas, and we actually see the exact same thing. Point of control coming in at the exact same place. Value area high of this range was a massive resistance, which we actually were not able to break. Point of control lost. Therefore, what would it make sense for the price to do? A bit of a retest, which is how now I'm going to tell you what trade I'm looking for. What does this kind of look like? I don't trade channels. It's not really my thing. We've been trading it as a sideways range. That's not what I wanted to do. We've been trading something like this. You could, if you really want to, do some sort of range. It's not really my thing, but something I spotted is this, in my point of view, does look like some sort of distribution range. The same sort of range that we were seeing there. What's funny about this? That the bottom side of this range is actually the point of control, which is the area that I think we should get a retest on. On top of that, now being on the 2-hourly time frame, we can see we've actually got a fair value gap right there on the 2-hourly time frame. And actually, if I move up 4-hourly, exact same story. We've got a fair value gap. So this is lining up to be one of my favorite entry points, which I speak about in nearly every single one of my videos. 2 different time frame fair value gaps in the same area. Now, what else can I do to this? I can trace a Fibonacci retracement if it makes me happy, which we're going to see the 0.5 level lands basically in the exact same area as the point of control. 0.618 is a bit higher. It lands still within our 2-hourly fair value gap, not the 4 hourly one though. So a potential trade could be basically at the point of control. You don't need a stop loss all the way above the recent highs. That's way too much. Something like this, 1.2, maybe even 1.3 stop loss with the take profit, I would say, to the value area low, which is roughly 61,100. This trade for me makes kind of sense. Now, what are we going to do now? We are now going to turn on our indicators to which you have actually got access to for free. We have created these indicators and we have dropped you a link in the descriptions box where you can access our Telegram, where you can send a message to our support team and tell them you want access to them. You will also, believe it or not, get access to my free course, which I have done, which is over 6 hours long. Let's start step by step. What can we see? I've got multi-time frame fair value gaps applied on with our indicator. That's not what I wanted to do. This is what I want to do. There we go. And I'm also going to be able to see this gray line. You might think, what is this gray line? It's an exponential moving average. Okay, exponential moving average inside 2 different time frame fair value gaps, which has also got containing the point of control. It is also the bottom side of this distribution range, which I identified, and it's also going to be the 0.5 level of a Fibonacci phase. Therefore, this is a trade that for me makes kind of sense, which is one that I'm personally going to be taking. Now, when we make it down here though, I am also going to say I am most likely going to be looking for a long. Okay, but we will cross that bridge when we get to it. On top of that, if I now hide this indicator and I turn on the one that we just most recently released, is going to show me all the blocks and break up all the blocks. We can see we've actually got a very small breaker order block right there on the 1 hourly time frame. It's not giving me the most amount of faith. It's not the main thing that's making me go, that's a really good trade, but it's just an extra little thing. We can see that we did get some sort of reaction once. Therefore, since we've broken it now, it becomes into a breaker order block, and it becomes just one more thing that we could add to our list of things of why this would be a potentially good trade. At least that's my point of view. That's what I'm going to be trading like. We can now head on over to Ethereum and have a really quick look, see what Ethereum is doing. In my point of view, you might not agree with me, which I don't really mind, is that Ethereum's actually doing something a bit more bullish, which is what? Let's start all over. Let's take this off. We had some sort of accumulation range right there. I think we can all agree that we broke out of it. Okay, Bitcoin keeps on pushing lower and lower and lower, and we're starting to grab some liquidity. Ethereum isn't. In fact, what is Ethereum done? Ethereum broke out of this range, did a retest, and then keeps on making higher highs and higher highs and higher lows. Okay, another thing that we could do is now do the exact same process we've done for Bitcoin. Trace a fixed range volume profile, just like so, and we can see how this first retest was down to the value area high, which is this blue line. And since then, we haven't even come close. Therefore, Ethereum, how I'm treating it, I'm just treating it as a completely different thing. It's going in its own sideways range. Okay, it is likely at some point we could get some sort of deviation down, potentially to the point of control, which would be this point right there, roughly at 1,770. But, okay, but, very big but, if I zoom out, actually on the 8 hourly time frame, and I do the exact same process, okay, fixed range volume profile of this whole lot, we can see something which would not be very bullish at all. From this macro range, this whole thing, the top and the bottom, the value area low is coming in right there, okay, which was, as you can see there, we tried to come in once, we failed, and then what did we magically do? we had one very big aggressive candle which made our way inside the bigger value area low. And ever since, we've been bouncing and bouncing and bouncing on the macro value area low. That, in my point of view, just looking at volume, that's a fairly bullish thing. Therefore, if we lose the price level of 1,838 and we start closing candles outside it, well, in this case below it, that would not be good news for Ethereum. Why? Because not only would we lose the macro value area high, we would also be losing the micro, the smaller one of this range right there, which would mean the first stop would probably be 1,771, and then the second stop would be very similar case to Bitcoin, having a push down to the value area low. We've even got a fair value gap right there, which I can spot from a mile away. And just for the fun of it, actually, what I'm going to do is trace a Fibonacci retracement, see if we can see anything. Yeah, okay. Fairly similar thing as Bitcoin. Okay, if Ethereum loses 1,837, my most probable target would be grabbing all of this liquidity and heading over to the 0.618 level. We've got a fair value gap right there. And on top of that, if I zoom in, what else are we going to see? Exactly the same scenario as Bitcoin. We had our accumulation range right there. I'm going to delete this, which was what led us to have this massive push up that we have been having. The value area low lands more or less, not in the exact same place, but more or less in the same area as the golden pockets. Okay, there's a bit of a difference, but to save myself, I will say we do have a high volume node right there. Okay, so that's my excuse. There is some volume that is going to be backing it up. Okay, we can also see how actually we do have a high volume node right there on the 0.5 level. So the 0.5 level could be a first quite nice level of support / resistance. Okay, that's my view. That's what I think is going to be happening with Bitcoin as well as Ethereum. Ethereum, in my eyes, is looking a lot more bullish as long as 1,837 does not get lost. Potentially, what would be a really, really good sign would be if Bitcoin now just kept on dropping and dropping and dropping, got really, really hurt, and Ethereum actually stayed a lot happier. And it actually stayed strong. We might even just get a bit of a fake out just to scare some people as soon as we recuperate fairly quick. We need to be above the value area low. If we are not, I'm not going to be as bullish with Ethereum. Okay. Having said that, I'm going to leave my video right here. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you're having a lovely day. Make sure to leave a like, make sure to subscribe, and make sure to let me know if you've got any questions or any doubts or any issues, as long as it's regarding trading, because I'm not your therapist. Thank you so much, and bye-bye.